Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Junwoo Lim, and today I would like to share how I think about ethics, specifically how classical theories and newer frameworks apply to financial markets and to my own values as a finance professional. As a graduate student in finance, I think about ethics not just a theoretical exercise, but as something that shapes real decisions in real markets. We'll cover six ethical theories in total, compare them, and I'll close with which approach resonates most with me personally. Let's start with the three historical approaches. First, utilitarianism, founded by Bentham and Mill. This determines the moral admissibility of an act by examining its consequences. As Soap explains, Bentham argued that the balance between pleasures and pains is quantifiable. If an act produces more pleasure than pain across all affected parties, it is morally justified. Professor Markovitz brings this to life with a vivid example. Imagine a doctor with only 5 doses of medicine and 6 patients. One patient needs all 5 doses to survive, then the other 5 each need one. Utilitarianism tells us to save the 5 because the total happiness preserved is greater. This outcome first logic is, in many ways, the dominant framework of financial markets today. Second, duty ethics associated with Kant. As Soap notes, Kant uses categorical imperatives, unconditional moral comments, to test the universal correctness of an action. Lying is wrong is one such imperative, regardless of the consequences it produces. The obligation itself is absolute. Third, moral virtues, which focus on the character of the person acting, not the act itself. Soap illustrates this powerfully. Mandela imprisoning someone in South Africa carries a different moral weight than Magube doing the exact same act in Zimbabwe, simply because the perceived virtue of each leader is fundamentally different. Most recently, three newer frameworks have emerged, and all three shift the focus away from the individual toward broader systems. Evolution ethics argues that morality isn't abstract, it evolved as a tool for group survival. Cooperation and fairness exist because they help communities persist over time. Ethics, in this view, is adaptive rather than absolute. Ecological ethics challenges the human centered view entirely. It argues that nature itself has moral standing and our decisions must account for long term environmental impact, not just human welfare. Finally, management ethics, and this is where Soap's new financial ethics comes in. Soap argues that finance must move beyond profit maximization and instead manage trust networks between institutions, investors, and society. Stakeholder responsibility and systemic integrity become the new standard, and this is the framework most directly relevant to where finance is heading. If we compare the two groups, the key shift is this. Traditional theories focus on individual, their choices, intentions, or character. Modern theories expand the lens to systems such as ecosystems, evolutionary dynamics, and financial networks. In terms of time horizon, traditional ethics ask, is this action right now? Modern ethics ask, is this sustainable for future generations? In capitalist markets, utilitarianism dominates the profit maximization, return on investment, efficiency matrix. But duty ethics also plays a role through regulation and compliance. And increasingly, management ethics is rising through ESG frameworks. In my home country, South Korea, the foundation is strongly Confucian, meaning virtue ethics such as loyalty, respect, and long-term relationship drive business culture. Duty ethics is present through strict legal compliance, and the Korean ESG is now emerging rapidly as a modern layer. From my own experience working at a Korean founded Asian retail grocery company in the United States, I've seen this blend firsthand. Decisions are often shaped not just by the data or formal rules, but by long standing relationships and trust within the team. At the same time, the company must balance American market demands with maintaining cultural credibility in the Korean American community. And I think this tension between profit driven thinking and relationship based ethics is, I believe, exactly what SOAP's NFE framework is designed to address. So, which theories resonate most with me? As someone studying finance at the graduate level, I've come to believe that no single theory is sufficient on its own. I align with virtue ethics as my foundation because finance is ultimately done by people. Character and integrity are the first line of defense against ethical failure. Markowitz shows that outcomes matter, but virtue ensures we ask the right question before we even reach an outcome. And I align with management ethics, SOAP's NFE, as my system. SOAP defines financial ethics as the systematic development of right opinions leading to right moral actions regarding financial processes. He grounds this in 7 dimensions: justice, nature, sustainability, risk return balance, stakeholder participation, legitimacy, and monism. For me, this framework is not just theory, it is the standard that the financial industry must be held to. My unified model is this: virtue defines who acts, and duty defines what is non negotiable. Outcomes tells us how to measure impact, and NFE ensures long term sustainability. As SOAP powerfully states, all financial decisions are, by definition, moral decisions. And this is the reference. Thank you so much for listening.